Hello and welcome to Knowledge by Nature. In today's video, I am doing an end of the year review. Now, back at the beginning of the year, I made a video of my intentions right here. It's actually really pretty good. I had a lot of insight. I enjoyed rewatching it again myself. Actually, there was a lot of good ideas that I had there, but a lot did actually end up changing, even though at the time I didn't think it would. If you've seen one of our last videos, which is right here, the life update, then you know that we moved, okay? And so by moving, a lot of things changed. A lot of curriculums didn't get started right when I initially would have had them started, all sorts of different things. But either way, I want to go through all the things that I talked about in that video, and I want to tell you whether we used them, whether we didn't use them, and if we didn't use them, why, and if we didn't use them, what we ended up thinking about it. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, linking that video down below. And I'm gonna look over here at my video and figure out like kind of where I started, and we're gonna go through that. All right, so in that video, we started with language arts, and this was a very similar setup to what I said we were gonna be using in 4th grade. The one addition that we had to this cursive is that we were finishing up the good and the beautiful. As you may know, as year-round homeschoolers, you kind of finish stuff, and so some stuff doesn't get completed right at the end of the year and you keep going. The good and the beautiful we did finish. I absolutely loved that cursive program. The little rainbow way that it's done, the little art things is down at the bottom. I absolutely love that. This was like the thing that we were gonna do after we finished the good and the beautiful. However, it's really just kind of practicing the letters again, and she is at the point where we needed to be practicing like words, putting words together. So this really wasn't appropriate anymore. What we did is we moved over into handwriting without tears, cursive. Neither one of us are really crazy about it. I don't like the cursive of it. So we are finishing that for our 4th grade year, but that is not what we're gonna be using for 5th grade. But like I said, loved the good and the beautiful. This I still had. I would have liked to use it, but honestly, it's a little bit of a waste of time because it's only practicing the one letter. This is something that needed to be done already, but this is super cute. I wish I would have used it in a more appropriate timing. The next thing is I had this as a reader that we were going to have her read independently quite often, along with her books, her chapter books and things like that that I assigned. That didn't happen either. So with this book, I had all these intentions of I was going to assign her these stories. She was going to read a story along with her chapter book and stuff. That really didn't happen. Now, we have actually read quite a few stories out of here. Right now, we're reading this. We kind of move this over into like a bedtime. We leave it beside her bed. And so a lot of times if we don't already have a picture book, we'll pull one of these out and we will read it. I think it is a pretty good resource. I do like it. I've even debated getting the next one. It just didn't I didn't use it as I thought I would, but I do like having just one big book of stories that we can read if we want to. So it was nice to kind of have around, but again, we didn't use it much, but we are using it as bedtime reading most of the time. Up next is the Learning Language Arts Through Literature. This was gifted to us by Common Sense Press. This was really, really great when we were like really in the heavy part of our move because we were able to use it, or she was able to use it independently so well. I could just assign her the things, she could do it, and she would continue to be working on some language arts. I also really like the fact that you really honestly don't have to do the lessons in order. I feel like you can kind of jump around, and that is what we did. If I didn't like one of them or I wasn't a huge fan of it, we just kind of skipped it. If I didn't feel like I had time, like maybe I just didn't want to cover the newspaper unit or something like that, we skipped it. And that's what we did. We did the ones that we liked and left the rest. It introduced us to quite a few books that we wouldn't normally have read that we really, really enjoyed. We really liked the little tale of Annabelle Hedgehog. We didn't actually read the book, but we liked all the little excerpts from it, and we kind of want to read the book now. The Boxcar Children, she absolutely loved that. We ended up reading quite a few Boxcar Children because of this. So I do really like this, and we kind of took a little pause on using it once life got a little bit more normal, but then we've used it a ton again this summer. So we enjoyed it a lot. It is a very gentle approach, but I love that it's got all of it in there and we used what we wanted out of it. As far as spelling, most of the time we didn't do the spelling section in it, but we just skipped it and went on. The next thing for writing. Okay, this one I have had. So I rolled this one over. I had it in 3rd grade and I rolled it over into 4th grade. I don't think we ever touched this in 4th grade. I don't think I did. Let me see. I think we're still like on, we're on like lesson 2. Yes. It's not that I don't like this. It's that, man, I am on a struggle bus to find what works best for us with writing. I am going to hold on to this for one more year because I have been reading more and more on writing, and I think I'm just going to kind of rotate in multiple options so that every week it's a little bit of a different style of writing technique, is a little bit of a different thing that we're learning. So I'm going to give this one more go. It is recommended, it says right here, grades 3 through 4. I don't care. I've got it. We're gonna give it, I think we're gonna try this in a rotation. I think I'm gonna have a writing rotation next year. So be sure and hit that subscribe button if you haven't, because there's always a journey going on with me. It's never, I just stick to something, hardly ever. So this was language arts. If you've been following me, you know there were different parts and pieces that came into language arts, but I'm just talking about what I decided to use for 4th grade, and did we do those things on that 4th grade video. But if you really, really want to know some things on the writing, we did go ahead and start IAW, Structure and Style. We've done a lot of the Writing Revolution. We have used Redwood Literacy, which is a program that I purchased off of Etsy. So there were a lot of components that went into our 4th grade year for writing. This wasn't one of them, but again, I think it may be. Something else I forgot to mention for like my language arts section was all about spelling. So we did all about spelling level 2. We moved on to all about spelling level 3, and then we started transitioning a little bit. So we kind of moved over into some other things. We almost finished level 3 before we started. We almost finished level 3 before we moved over into phonetic zoo. So I've got different spelling things that we've used as well. This is really, really good. There are just certain things that we haven't quite found the perfect fit for yet. And you know what? Some subjects you may just not have a perfect fit. Another thing that I used this year was my School Nest lesson planner. This is my 2nd year with School Nest, I think. This is the minimalist planning. Love this thing. Oh my goodness. I love School Nest so, so much. But yes, this one is fantastic. I really, really like it. I am using School Nest again for 5th grade, but love this. So pretty. Works wonderful. Love it. All right, moving over into history, we have our history timeline notebook, again by School Nest. This is really cool. It is just something that we will use year after year after year as we go through history. We have enjoyed using this a lot. The majority of our history was done through Common Sense Press. This was gifted to us. This was one I was going to buy anyways, and they happened to go ahead and send that over to us. This worked really, really good. We did end up using a couple of different things. For one, I wanted to go pre-American history. I wanted to go into the Vikings and things a little bit. So we actually used CKLA for that, or core knowledge. It wasn't actually CKLA, it was the history section of that. But we used that in a couple of different resources, but for the majority, this is what we used. This isn't really a curriculum. It is just a lot of resources and ideas on how to kind of build your own studies for the different timelines. So this was wonderful. We are still working our way through American history. So this worked really, really well. This right here, I've got mixed feelings on this right here. This is from Knotgrass. It is very, very beautiful. I do like that. The stories are kind of cool, but really didn't end up using the workbook that goes with it. She kind of liked it, kind of didn't like it. We do enjoy the stories, but I feel like it takes a long time. I don't know. I really don't know on this one. I have very, very mixed reviews on this. If I had to go and do it again, I probably wouldn't buy it again, because I think I could have got it done quicker. For some reason, because we always had lesson 1, part 1, and then part 2, where you have the song and story, and we loved the song and story. It wasn't that we didn't like it. That's where I'm just so mixed with it, because I do really, really like it. So let's just look at one really quickly. Okay, oh, that was awesome. The Pack Horse Librarians, like I said, like it a lot. But here's lesson 1, Tennessee. You read all of these things. Found out, we went and got Goo Goo clusters one day. It was amazing. We almost never did any of this. And then you go to day 2, and that is where you do the song and story of Tennessee. And that is it. So you have these like 2 days of lessons for the one state. There's awesome information. There's awesome pictures. I don't know. I don't know if I just couldn't find a good groove with it or what. We will finish this up. I just don't know if I would choose to get it again. But at the same time, we have found some of the funnest information out of this too. The Pack Horse Librarians, this Mammoth Cave, that was awesome. Learning about Kentucky Fried Chicken. So I honestly think it's just a personal thing of us getting it scheduled, and how I need to maybe use it differently. I need to try to break away from using it maybe exactly as it was intended and move it more to the way that we want to use it. And that is slowly what we are getting to on getting it done. But that was kind of our history. All right, for science, I had intended to use discovering atoms, molecules, and matter. We didn't actually get to this. This is one I feel like I'm fine to wait a little bit longer on. We can use this in 6th grade and it'll still be good. I do think I'm gonna like it because it's got all these little books. This just isn't a subject or a topic that we wanted to hit last year, and so we didn't hit it last year. With this one, this was gifted to us. This was gifted to us by Classical Science. I ended up using the Earth Science unit, but I did not use the Astronomy unit. The Astronomy unit, we ended up using mostly the Little School of Smiths. Absolutely loved that. That was so cute, so fun. We adored the Little School of Smiths Astronomy unit. But the Earth Science, I don't know if maybe we just don't dig Earth Science, or we just wasn't the time for us. But we did do the Earth Science, didn't even try the Astronomy out of this one, but it is nice and set up for you as far as it has different options. I have flip throughs on all these, so be sure and check things out, but we didn't really end up using this much. Another School Nest notebook that we got, and that was our 4th grade notebook. This was really, really great. It was just the one book that all sorts of stuff went into. It's fun to have this like little bright colored notebook. This has been nice to use, and so we used this for all sorts of little things that we did throughout the year, and now it's full of fun little memories. All right, let's talk. The very last subject here is math. Now, there were different things that I ended up adding throughout the year. We ended up doing typing, and of course, she continued to do art, things like that. But I just want to talk mainly about our books here. So, dimensions, absolutely. It is a hit for us. They ended up gifting me the subscription service, which was amazing during our move. I have a whole video on that too. Be sure and check that out if you're at all interested in it. For us, it kept us on schedule for math. There's no way with the move that I could have kept up with that. Overall, I would rather teach math myself. She would rather me teach her math versus the videos, but dimensions itself, hands down, that is our favorite math that is working for us. So that has been a for sure thing for this 4th grade year. This is the first year that we haven't finished a Life of Fred book. Life changes just made things a lot harder to do different things that we might normally have done. We had a hard time kind of finding the new groove with everything that we've got going on. But usually we would really hit this in the summer, and we haven't at all. I don't know that we even started this book, which is sad because we enjoy Life of Fred so much. He's funny, and it is a very unique approach to doing math. So I hope maybe I can hit this again because we have the set and I love it. Another one that we barely touched was the Logic Workbook for Gritty Kids. This is for ages 6 through 10, so we're good to go. We're going to continue to use this. I might as well, right? This is something that's going to be built into our year for next year. I feel like we're getting more of a hold on having our new setup and all of that stuff going. So This didn't really get used, but it wasn't because we didn't like it. It just, I didn't make the time for it, honestly. I just did not make the time for it. We made sure that we got our big things done while we were adjusting to our new life. One last thing I wanted to share with you about our 4th grade year is our reading. So I know I forget to write things down for sure on her. Like, she reads so many picture books. I don't even try to write those down. I try to write bigger ones down, but I know I miss a lot of those. As far as our favorite read aloud, it's gonna be really close. We finished Nevermore. We absolutely loved Nevermore. The Witch of Blackbird Pond, The Sign of the Beaver was awesome. The Wing Feather Sagas were fantastic. Rover was really good. She loved the Boxcar Children. We read a lot of really good ones, but it probably, it's really close on the Wing Feather Saga and Nevermore for our read aloud. Independent reads, she had a lot of really good ones. Her probably top favorite was Oliver Twist, The Mouse and the Motorcycle, Friendle, but when I read this whole list to her, she quickly was like, Oliver Twist. That was one of her favorites. But the Silver Arrow, she really liked that one. The Children's Blizzard, I think, kind of stuck with her also. But yeah, that was just a few little things I wanted to quickly update you on reading some of our like really favorite ones. So just wanted to jump in and tell you that real fast. All right, so there it is. These are all of the things that I mentioned in the video, so I just wanted to kind of update you what we used, what we didn't use. I will be coming out with our 5th grade curriculum very soon, but I did want to give you this because sometimes it's nice to know, hey, this is what their idea was, what actually happened. And for us, I feel like I kind of went off the rails a little bit during the move of a whole lot of things changed, and I had really good intentions for a lot of stuff, but go back and watch that video if you're all interested in 4th grade. But like I said, there was some good insight that I had in there as far as I was choosing quality over quantity, and that was something really good because in 3rd grade I had way too much stuff, too many options, and that was very overwhelming. So that's something you have to be careful with, that you don't have so many options that you don't get anything done. But 4th grade year was fantastic. We definitely progressed in many of our subjects. We learned so many things. Co-op was awesome. We learned a lot of stuff this year. It was a fantastic 4th grade year, even with all of the changes. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has been, drop me a comment down below. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.